Welcome to episode 9 of season 2 of Our Darling Town, the podcast where we explore the heart and soul of Darlington through its independent local businesses and the people that make it special. I'm Henry Carver alongside my brother James, and we're here to shine a spotlight on our beloved town. Join us as we sit down with passionate local people to delve into their stories and uncover the unique contributions they make to our community and to find out more about the town where we live. Get ready to be inspired by the people and stories that make Darlington truly special. Good morning and Happy New Year.
Good morning and Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to our millions of listeners and watchers.
Billions.
Yeah, it was the last episode. Two people have mentioned that they liked the last guest.
So they came outside of social media and said it actually, said real words to you.
They did. They said it was interesting to hear more.
Who was the last guest?
It was me.
Hey.
It was me. Yeah. So I haven't looked at the total stats yet for the listeners.
Have you forgiven me yet for throwing you under the bus?
Well, it was. I actually enjoyed it. So yeah, hopefully.
Your favourite subject?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I am very big-headed, as you know.
Yeah, not modest at all.
Yeah, all good. New Year's resolutions. How are they going?
Really well, yeah. Dry January is going well.
So this is Henry, who likes a beer or a glass of wine on a weekend.
As a weekday.
Responsibly. And hates running.
Yes.
You've decided to do Dry January.
Yep.
And you're running 5k a day.
Yeah, I am. There's a little competition at the gym who can sort of rack up the... For every 5k that you do throughout the month of January, you get entered into a prize competition.
Okay.
Now, obviously, it's a cumulative. So I could do 1k one day, 4k the next, and obviously that would give me an entry into the competition.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what, I'll do my own little personal goal of running 5k per day in January.
And we're on the 8th today, and how's that?
8th today, yeah, I've done 7 so far.
Well done. We're going to do one together because I'm back running again.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, although your like cripple pace, if I can say that, is not exactly slow.
Helps with the ice and snow because that kind of levels the playing field a bit. It slows everybody down. So let's try and get a 5k this week. Would be
absolutely. But will you wait for me, please?
Yeah, it'll be slow.
So. Yeah, absolutely. More than happy to do that.
Brilliant.
What are your resolutions?
Well, I realised that I'd put on 1.5 stone since stopping running.
Since you're up, or just before you're up?
No, before the up, probably like the last 6 months. So lack of exercise and eating and drinking too much. So I've got to try and get back to be active, which is good. So I did 5.5 miles on Sunday morning with a friend, which was really nice in the snow. I'm able to do the cold tub again, which is brilliant, which we've done sort of pretty consistently, but then since the operation I wasn't able to do it because your body kind of tenses up a lot when you go in, so that was quite sore. So yeah, I've been doing that. So this morning was particularly chilly with, I think the air temperature was like, I don't know, -5 or something. So
we are very different.
Tub was about 2 degrees.
I can't stand cold water.
It's fine.
I don't mind like while swimming, you know what I mean, in a nice environment in the lakes or something.
Yeah.
But you've got a cold tub in your back garden.
Yeah.
And when it's probably dark in the mornings.
Yeah, it was.
Literally snow on the floor, on the ground.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at the stars, really nice. It's sort of, you don't want to do it, but like when you're in there and you've done it, you get out, you feel absolutely awesome. So I would recommend it.
Okay, I'll take your recommendation and contemplate whether or not I'm doing it.
Another one, I've started a little bit of fasting as well, so I'm trying to do like a 20-hour fast on a Monday, which is good.
Stay away from James when he's fasting.
I did 22 hours. I did it with, actually we might have discussed this the other week. I did this when I had a meeting with you and I was quite grumpy. Yep. And when I did my last one, I walked in the house and I saw my wife, Helen, and I said, just don't speak to me. I'm already annoyed with you. She hadn't even said hello. I was like, I need to eat something because I'd had like 22 hours without any food.
I sent you a reel last night on Instagram. It was something on the lines of, if you feel angry, eat. Yeah. That was the first thing I sent to you.
I don't think I get hungry, but apparently
you most definitely get hungry. But the neck's okay, obviously.
All good. All good. Started to do a bit of swimming again, and feel really good. So I am absolutely delighted.
Fabulous.
We have a guest this morning.
We do. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Today we're thrilled to welcome Chef Matei Baran, a culinary visionary whose passion for food has brought innovation and vibrancy to our town's dining scene. With over 25 years of experience in top kitchens and a celebrated appearance on BBC's MasterChef The Professionals, Chef Matei has built a reputation for crafting unforgettable dining experiences. Here in Darlington, Chef Matei is making waves with not just one, but 3 exciting ventures, from the quirky Mexican-inspired Casa del Alma, on Skinnergate, serving up vibrant tacos, burritos, and top-notch cocktails, to his new artisanal deli at Darlington Market, offering continental cheeses, charcuterie, and freshly prepared foods, as well as House of Bratwurst, a modern European restaurant that promises to redefine dining with an emphasis on bold creative flavours right in the heart of Darlington. Matei, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
So, I'm really hungry now after reading all that out.
Yeah.
Well, next time I'll bring breakfast.
Yes, please.
That sounds good. That sounds good. What would you cook us for breakfast?
Sorry?
What would you cook us for breakfast?
Bowl of porridge.
That's what I had this morning. Yeah.
A healthy habit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was telling me he had chai seeds stuck in his teeth this morning.
Yeah, chia seeds on porridge with some nuts and some chocolate.
Very
chocolate
good.
spreads.
Very good option for a healthy breakfast and full of proteins and vitamins.
Yeah, fantastic. So, what got you into cooking?
I think I have this one in my blood. Since I was a child back in my country, I remember the first meal I ever cooked was like a 6-7 course for my parents when they come back from work. But I meant 6 courses were like chips, fried eggs, stuff like that.
Yeah.
When my parents came home, I was like, wow. So my grandmother, my mother, my father, very good home cooks. So this is where the passion came.
Fantastic. And originally from Romania?
Yes, right? I'm from Romania.
Yeah. And what sort of the traditional Romanian foods?
We stay here till tomorrow morning.
Oh, really?
Our food, it's more like a, homemade stews, long cooking, cured meats and stuff like that. Yeah. It's nothing like a fancy French cuisine, but it's very, very good, very, very, bold on flavor.
Yeah, so good on a day like today that's -2 outside.
Definitely. You mentioned about the House of Bratwurst in Darlington Market, and it's not just only a German, and also we have like an East European dishes and drinks from different countries, including Romania. And we sell like this little spirit called palinka. It's a plum brandy. And when people are serving, I'll explain how we serve this back in my country. So in the countryside, when it's called like that, people, before they go to work, I mean like 5 o'clock in the morning, they have like a couple of slices of homemade cured lard and a red onion and a shot of this palinka, and they put them right away.
That's breakfast.
Yes, breakfast. But it's very healthy. It's made in the house, so it's a different concept. But this is what was back in hundreds of years.
Yeah.
I'm not recommending to anyone here.
So have you had yours this morning?
No, I'm all right, thank you. A very, very, very rare drink.
Yeah.
Fab. So your love of cooking started from a very young age. How did you get into it professionally?
More professionally, I think when before I came here in 2009, I worked in a couple of restaurants in a summer resort. Because of a personal situation, I needed to do something different. So I came on a 2008 summer in a place called Vama Veche near the seaside, where I was like, I know to cook. Just can I find a job? And this is how I started in professional cooking. And in a couple of months, I become like a sort of sous chef. As I said, it's totally different than what I did here. And then a friend of mine is like, why don't you try to go in UK to find a job there? So I applied for a job, and a couple of months later, I was in UK. Believe me or not, I didn't know what's a prawn cocktail. So it's
classic dish.
Total different. But I started from very bottom. And
so has it all been sort of learning on the job, or have you sort of had...
most of the time learning on the job, but I did in UK, part of the visa, I need to do like a level 2 culinary college. So I did Newcastle College, and then I did level 3 professional cooking, level 3 pastry, which was good to interact, but let's say probably an 80%, 90% is more, by your own development and practice and try different stuff.
So whereabouts was the first restaurant you worked in?
So I came in UK. I will never forget that day. It's called Percy Arms. It's in Otterburn. Yeah. Now it's called Petit Chateau, I think. So it was a coach house and a care home opened in 70s. It's the village is called Otterbourne. It's halfway to
sort of Northumberland, Scotland border.
Yeah, so this is how I started, and I remember I arrived in London, and the agency said, you need to take a train to Newcastle, and the landlord came to pick you up. I was fine. So when I arrived here, I had £135 in my pocket. That's all the money, and a small bag. So go to the train station, buy a ticket, and the lady said, it's £115. So, oh my God, I can't spend this money. It's like, they are different. And they said, yeah, take a bus. So I didn't realize, the bus fare would be like, the time would be like, 7 or 8 hours like that. So in my head, when I came in UK, I was like, the country of gentlemen and ladies and stuff like that. So driving through the countryside, ships was a bit of, all right. Then arriving in Newcastle around 10 o'clock night time, everything closed. I asked a driver, can I go to Otterbourne? Yes, tomorrow morning. I was like, okay. So I spent one night in city center of Newcastle, sleeping in the train station and getting my first touch with the gay city, which is around the train station. For me, it was very, very wild. So that's my adventure till I was picked up from Newcastle.
And you made it to Otterbourne, and then what was your first job? Did you say you were sous chef?
No. I started from the bottom.
Right. Okay.
I think I was CDP chef de partie or something like that. If that was there, but I think the first 3 months was a bit difficult because to change all the concept. Living in the countryside was very limited on what you can do and how you can do stuff, and have friends. But after 3 months, I managed to fight, and then got on the right path and start proper learning. And
and this was 2009, did you say?
2009 October, yeah.
Yeah, and quite the rise from there to featuring in BBC's MasterChef. What was the transition? I mean, obviously quite a lot had happened between.
So as soon as I see the show on TV, I was like, I want to be there. So I think I said this in my head. I think when I arrived was still airing on the TV in November, I think. And then I saw it. I was like, I want to go there. So back in my head. And after a couple of years, starting developing my skills, and I was like, I definitely want to go. So I applied once, and I haven't been successful, but it didn't stop me to apply second time. I think this sounds hilarious, but I think the best thing happened for me and managed to go to MasterChef was the year where I divorced, because it was a bit of heartbroken for me, not because the fact that it was because the little boy was involved, and we're coming from a country where the family, it's family, and I always want to have a family. But anyway, is in our industry, lots of chefs, and they have hard times. They go on a path of drinking or taking drugs, and I must admit I was quite low. But I was head chef to a hotel in Newcastle, and that gave me a little bit of more freedom to spend time in the kitchen and practice and doing dishes till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I was very, very busy studying on stuff like that. Applied for the MasterChef, was 6,000 application, 3 interviews, and I managed to go through the. Wow!
And tell us about the interview process. I'm intrigued. Did you have to provide dishes before?
It's confidential.
No one listens to this anyway. I wouldn't worry.
At that stage was confidential, but so it's an online process where you got 60,000 applications. What I learned about the MasterChef, it's not a competition, so it's show.
Yeah.
So they need to have. I don't know if you watch it. They have very high-end, good chefs and very low skilled. You just wonder what they are doing there, why they are there.
They need to create some drama.
So they need to have drama. So even if you watch the judges, how they do something silly and then just start twisting their eyes, faces all over. So you can tell, it's a TV show. So in a way, I was prepared for that. And then you have, after those, you selected from the 6,000 application, you have like a face-to-face interview. And then this is when passed to the team, which they select, I think was 48 chefs. And then they come to your place of work, to shoot, to interview, and that's the final stage. So this is where I've been through all this stuff. It's difficult because you can't say to anyone. It's just that excitement. You want to say, of course, I need to tell to my boss, the manager from the hotel, and a couple of my guys, just to make sure, right, this is happening, you need to cover me in case, I'll go so far. I think the most funny thing about this competition was this. You film in the summer, and of course it's streamed in October or November or something like that. So the day before, for me to go down to London to film, we held at the hotel a charity competition. And every head of department needs to come on an idea, to make money for the charity. So I came with a brilliant idea called Beat the Chef. So me dressed as a chef with a big hat and red gloves, being goalkeeper. And you pay £2 to score. Everybody wants to be the chef.
Yeah.
So the hotel is Jurizin outside, like have like a massive square, put up a post, and then let's play. It was for fun. One of the guys plays football, and he put a lot of strength in the ball, and bang, snapped my fingers. And I knew straight away it's bad because you can feel it, And I started running, shouting after him, and people, they didn't realize why I'm going mad. And I go in my manager's office, and I shout, I was like, you need to sack him, this is what he... Of course, he was laughing, but I was, crying because I knew it's something bad. My hand was just swallowed.
Yeah.
So go to hospital, and I had a fracture in 3 points. I have 1, 2, 3 here. My hand was like that. I couldn't bend it. The guy said, you need to come back tomorrow morning, to see a surgeon, to need a surgery. I was like... So in the morning, I was like, I can't. If I ring MasterChef, they will not let me to compete. So I go to this doctor, and he said, right, we need to put you to surgery this afternoon. Look, I need to go to London. I was like, you're nuts, you can't. So I explained the situation, you're a liar. I was like, okay, I don't care, you'll see in a few months. Sign a waiver. I left. And I remember, my hand was like that.
So could you hold a knife? Could you hold utensils?
I couldn't hold the pen. I couldn't hold the pen, not a knife.
And that was your first day of filming at MasterChef?
Yeah, so I couldn't give up. So what I did, my grandmother back in my country when I was a child, like, if you have a swallow, wrap yourself with some cabbage leaves and some spirit, and that will take the swallow. But not only have a fracture. Yeah. So visualize that, train down to London, me wrapped with a massive towel and cabbage leaves and stuff like that, sitting like that. Of course, because of the fractures, nothing. In the hotel room, again, there is another thing where you put wine in 2 slices of bread, and then you wrap it again. It's supposed to swallow, but again, it's just like didn't work because, of course, of the fracture. I don't want to know when those housekeepers came in the hotel.
Yeah, what's going on?
Bread,
cabbage, wine, and bread.
You're just testing some new recipes.
Exactly. So what I did, I got some electric tape, and I just taped the fingers like that. And then they asked me what's going on. I was just like, superstition stuff. Whatever. But I couldn't, honestly, I couldn't. But I took the tape down and just go in the first round. And
so you got through the first round?
I got the first round, the second round, I got two rounds. Yeah.
Brilliant.
The first round was, again, shocking, and I was nearly to walk away. And I've told, I'm doing quite a lot of private dining, and people ask me about MasterChef, and I always tell them about this story, and people are, wow. So, when you do like the test kills, imagine it's a big room, and everybody, no matter how good you are as a chef, you are petrified because you don't know what's happening. It's all this pressure. It's the first time you want to get it right. So you walk through, 20 meters to this table with judges, and everybody looks at you like, when you try to get like a smile, like a snap, nothing. It's just cold ice. And then you turn left and you realize another 30 people, camera crew or whatever,
everyone's watching.
And I was like, oh, great. And then you go there, they ask you, how are you? Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like, this is ingredients, please make me a soup andaluz. Never heard about it. And I probably, 70% of the chefs I don't think they ever heard about it. But the ingredients is more like a gazpacho. So you try to make it up, and it was very difficult with the hand. I was taking a poached egg, my hand was shaking. And I remember Monica Galetti saw the tape. Was like, she asked me, "Why is that? Why you have that?" And then in that moment, it was like brilliant, because then I'll say the story and I'll become a hero. Yeah. Well, it was totally different, and I didn't expect that. So I've told exactly like I've told you the story, and she started laughing, but she started laughing in a mad way, and then Craig Wallace started laughing, Marcus Waring started laughing, another 30 people. So they put me in a situation where I feel like, hold on, I tell you, a painful story, and you start laughing, and that was really, really, really put me off. And anyway, I was really ready to walk. I was like, whatever, I'll just throw everything in a plate, and you could tell, they was making faces and stuff like that. So I was like, I know this drill, so you don't intimidate me. So I finished. And after each cooking session, they interview.
Yeah.
So they start interviewing. When I start slating Monica Galetti, I was like, this is not professional, I think blah, blah, blah. What I didn't realize, every judge they had.
Oh, right.
And she heard everything I said. The guy from the camera was just telling me in a way, saying like that, and I didn't realize actually to stop, talking about her. But I was, honest, and I think, it was not professional the way she did it. Yeah. But that was my first experience, my first day at the MasterChef.
So you're doing private dining as well as working in a hotel at that point?
No. I'm doing the private dining now.
Yeah.
And
people
ask me about the MasterChef story, and I'm telling you about this.
So after the MasterChef, you went back to the hotel, and then how long were you there for?
And then I gone back to the hotel, and then I got an offer from Darlington here. Mm-hmm. So I moved for 1 year. I worked there as an executive head chef, and then moved after 1 year to a pub in Northumberland. Then I opened a restaurant and a hotel in Tynemouth. And then after that experience, I decided, okay, let's try it.
Yeah.
So I left, working for some people, and I started working for myself. Excellent. This is how everything started.
Yeah, fantastic. And what brought you to Darlington?
The lady who ran before my social media, Tori, she's from Darlington. I always, come here to speak with her. And then a couple of opportunities came. I had like a pop-up kitchen at the Vesuvio.
Yeah.
And then my friend Kathleen from Influence Cafe told me about the place in Skinnergate. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, that sounds interesting. And then I was like, okay, let's move down here. I've got 2 locations. Had a base in Sunderland, so I need to move everything what we have, because part of the business we're doing outside catering and stuff like that. So this is how I decided to move here. Of course, driving every day wasn't an option.
Yeah.
So I needed a house. It was very difficult to find a house. Like in the last minute, I found a house. The advantage now, the place where I live, and between 2 restaurants, is like 5 minutes walk.
Brilliant.
So that's probably
handy.
That's pretty handy. Yeah.
And you opened it as Posh Street Food, is that right? And then you rebranded it as a Mexican. What was the sort of reason for sort of the change?
So the first 2 months was really great, and then suddenly from nowhere, the sales dropped like half 50%, and why? Because we didn't. Yes, we did have some bad reviews, but 95, 96 was good. The food was really good. The prices was acceptable for Darlington. So I didn't really figure out, like, okay, let's try to give something else where, changing a concept every few months, maybe this will attract people. So this is where I decided to change it in a new style. So I had a bit of debate in between a French bistro and a Mexican place, which is nothing in Darlington. Everybody I spoke with, Mexican. And to be honest, Mexican is a trend, very good flavor, very good food, drinks as well. So this is how I opened the Mexican. The impact was brilliant. But again, I can't explain why, it's very difficult to convince people of Darlington to, there is something else in the area rather than Italians or Indians.
Yeah.
Which again is, I don't want to be understood wrong. I don't have any problem. I love Indian food, Italian food, but as a diversity, I think having something like that in the area, just nothing around, till Middlesbrough or something like that. And we have very good food.
Yeah, so you mentioned sort of the concept of changing it up every few months.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen with the Mexican as well, or just see how it goes?
It needs to, you really need to understand where you are and how if you'll be successful with whatever you're doing. You can't just push to a limit and then you realize, well, I got no option. So the moment I'll give a few more months to see how this will go. Everybody I talk said, like, give it time. But again, time costs money. And some people from the area dislike is the location, despite personal opinion, it's prime location.
Yeah.
But again, it's a difference. I give you an example. The place in the market does far more better, and it got more visitors and more footfall than you get over there. Which again, for me, it's a bit weird because I was expecting a Mexican restaurant, in the area like that, which is a niche, is nothing like that, and very good quality food. I'm not saying myself, the people, the reviews, drinks and stuff like that. It's very, very good and very competitive on prices.
Well, tell us a bit about your menu, because I've not paid it a visit yet. I went to Posh Street Food a couple of times, but the Mexican place I haven't been to yet.
Well,
tell us about
on the Mexican places, you can't reinvent the wheel. You'll find tacos, burritos, enchiladas, but everything is made, let's say 95%, everything is made fresh in the house. I know it sounds weird, a Romanian guy to create Mexican food, but funny enough, we have the similar way of cooking, just, the spices. Was a bit difficult at the beginning, to reach the level of spiciness, which, it is for a Mexican restaurant, but we are there, and I'm very humble and, overwhelmed when I see the comments where people are saying the best Mexican food we ever had in UK. Brilliant. And that makes me, let's push another month. At the beginning, the menu was a bit more traditional, but was people, we are in UK. I was like, where is the fries in the menu? I was like, we are traditional Mexican, we don't sell fries. But I changed the menu recently, so in a way, I've been forced to add a bit of Mex-Tex type, like loaded fries and a spicy chicken burger, because unfortunately, this is the crowd around. Before I opened this one, I did a bit of research. So I've been to a place in Leeds, was like a very shabby house, exactly like a house, like an old cantina, but it was absolutely full, packed. The vibe was incredible, full of students. And I spent a couple of hours there. I was like, and the food was only traditional Mexican. You leave and you'll not see churros in the menu. And I was like, going in that route. But again, Darlington is totally different than Leeds or different locations.
Yeah, very good. So, what inspired you for the German concept, the House of Bratwurst? Yeah, I couldn't pronounce it in my own head.
So I always had this. So after pandemic, I created a street food concept called Posh Street Food. So we did a lot of pop-ups, different pubs, breweries, and it was a particular brewery in Amber, and I was fascinating, to see how they brew the beers, and then we do the street food outside. Like always, one of my dreams is to have something like that, but to have incorporate, like massive grills to do like proper sausages, ribs. Yeah. And then I saw the opportunity in the market when Bumble Crumble finished their contract. And I spoke with the manager, Michael. It's like, I have this concept. And it's like, that's brilliant. And again, it's something niche. Everybody loves German beers. We do have a very good quality. It's a mix of German beers, Belgium, and East European. And then to top it up, we put this East European, food from my country, Hungary, goulash, and stuff like that. And and it's starting to work. It's still hard, we still have, we open in May, and we still have people coming. Oh, we didn't know you are here. Yeah. So that's again, show how difficult it is to have it. But as a concept, it's not fine dining. You'll see the comments are mixed, but it's a crowd pleaser. Yeah. If you're on a Stein, you can have a Stein. If you're on a Bratwurst, you can have a Bratwurst. So
I'm just looking forward to end of September, early October, when Oktoberfest arrives to Darlington, and I can just picture the whole indoor market, holding a Stein and having a Bratwurst.
This year was a bit different because, of course, we haven't been prepared. But I was speaking with Michael the other day, to start to work on that, because a nice Oktoberfest, it needs to be done properly,
Absolutely.
with a proper band, which they're not cheap. They are around £4,000 to bring a band like that. So that's a lot.
Really?
Money. Yeah. It's very, very expensive.
Well, I think that could be fantastic. Look forward to anything you've got planned.
We've been busy this year, despite we didn't have any sort of entertainment, and the market didn't really have anything, just only some decoration. But again, it was too late to plan something. But this year we still have 3-4 months to plan it.
Yeah, very good. And you say you did a bit of chef work at Vesuvio as well. Yeah. You've stopped doing that now?
Yes, we stopped doing that. Les is the owner there. It's a fantastic gentleman and very, very skilled on cocktails and wine. I have a lot of respect. It was a pop-up. Worked for a few good months. And again, probably was the timing or stuff like that didn't really work as a business, and then we decided in good terms, to do your own thing. And to be honest, for me, it will become quite difficult having 2 other restaurants, to be involved in a project where needed me to be in that kitchen. Yeah.
And your private chef work, is that keeping you busy as well?
Since I came to Darlington, it reduced significantly because, being involved in the places here, and it's not an easy ride with the staff, but we still I still have requests, and every so often I'm doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And tell us about your favourite foods as well, because we've had a couple of chefs on the show, and we've always discussed what their sort of go-to meal is. It's always interesting. What's your sort of go-to?
I can't give you a certain dish because I like pretty much every food. I like to explore. I'm going different places to try different things. I love going on in London or York or Edinburgh, for the street food markets.
Yep.
And sometimes I'm trying, 20, 30 dishes just to pick something like an idea and stuff like that. Sometimes you just come back with nothing exciting, because I think they are very good street food concept in UK, but pretty much everything is the same. It's just burger, pizza, fish and chips, or Chinese or stuff like that, which, this is a crowd pleaser. To come back to your questions, I don't have a particular dish. As I said, depends on the mood, and I always appreciate good food, no matter you make it at home or you bring. Look, I made a sandwich and it tastes really good. So I'm not. I quite like to explore and try different things.
Yeah. So what about sort of styles of food? Because I've spoken to a few people, and they've tried out Michelin star restaurants and things like that, and they've come back and their feedback has been there was too much faff, there was too much and too little on the plate. Whereas actually, other people have said to me, I prefer just going for a big, a roast, for example. Yeah. What's your sort of favourite?
I totally agree with this. Till 2 years ago, I never been in a Michelin restaurant.
Yeah.
The reason why, because I think it's overpriced. As you said, it's a lot of faff. The only place I will go and I'll pay whatever they ask was La Gavroche, Michel Roux, because he's my favorite chef, and I think it's an institution, where they do the proper, French cooking. Unfortunately, it's closed out. But I watch a lot of, on the internet, YouTube, and different, it's sensational, but it's pity to see how much they charge you and how less they put in the plate. When I'm doing the private dining, the mini tastings, I give them, and people are surprised to see, how much food they get. They're expecting, something like a pound coin, but you can't, disrespect the customers. And I think most of the Michelin stars, I might create controversy here, but it's my opinion. I think they are overrated for the amount of money they pay, and I know how much cost a fillet of beef, oyster, or whatever, and you can charge so much. And I know they use these modern techniques and invest a lot of money, but by the end of the day, the show, you go once for the show, like a cinema, you pay a ticket, but when it comes to it, you might realize, it's not really good. But 2 years ago, I've been for a short trip in Amsterdam, and I didn't realize, how many Michelin stars are actually in Amsterdam. Right. And we wanted to dine, and I saw the prices was quite good. So I booked a table to a French restaurant. By the time I check out, the table gone. So the next restaurant came, a Japanese restaurant, and it's the only Michelin star Japanese restaurant outside of Japan. Okay. So I was like, okay,
this could be good.
That's cool. Whatever costs me, I'll go there. It was absolutely unbelievable. So you go to this, I can't remember the name of the hotel, where they have 3 Michelin stars, 3 Michelin restaurants.
Yeah.
This one, the Japanese one, which was 1 star, second level, 2 stars Michelin, and top floor 3 stars Michelin. So that was like unbelievable.
Work your way up the levels.
Probably a couple of years of,
have to rob a bank before
exactly. So the experience was unbelievable. The chef he's using his grandmother recipes, but with the modern twist. The food is unbelievable. The experience, the waitress, to see all that Japanese style. And that was changing. It's that type of food and the environment. I'll probably go second. I met the chef, which was so humble. The only way he go now is like I'm never gone out to speak with the customers. But I said, look, I'm a chef, and I want to shake this hand to him because it was unbelievable. He came, signed the menu. And the best thing again, sounds very odd, the best thing I had there, so they put this plate with sashimi with different dips. And one of the dips was an egg yolk made with soy, cooked at 60 degrees or something like that. Honestly, I asked for a second. I was just literally spoon. It was the best thing I ever had. Just to go with the sashimi is unbelievable. But it was an experience where I can say, worth the money.
Fantastic. So you've got three ventures at the moment, 3 different businesses.
At the moment, I have 2. There is another one on the pipeline with the deli, which is not open yet. So hopefully it will be by end of February.
Yeah, fantastic. How do you find time to do it all?
When do you sleep?
Now. You need to do it when, it's your own business, and unfortunately, I'm a workaholic. As sad as it sounds, that's my life. I don't have, my only time I spend when I go to see my little boy. The rest, I need to be involved in, every single aspect of the business, especially now when, to survive, you need to cut down every single extra cost, every single extra stuff. So you need to do it. You can't turn to say, sorry, I can't be asked to. I need a day off to fly.
And the other chefs that work with you, are they local? Have you worked with them previously, or how easy is it to find?
It's very difficult. So when I came here, I had 2 very good chefs, which they worked for me, for 2-3 years, and before when I was at a hotel, they worked with me. So they was traveling from Newcastle to Darlington, and that was okay for a period of time. And then it was difficult for them. And then the cost for me, because I need to pay for their diesel and all other extra hours, that was nearly £3,000 extra per month. And we decided, it's not, feasible. And I tried different, chefs, which unfortunately didn't work. But I think I'm quite good on try to train people and see. So I have a couple of kids which they never worked as a chefs, but they actually, with a good guidance, they run one of the kitchens and stuff like that. So realistically, in this moment, the only chef professional, it's me.
Yeah.
But I have, a couple of other guys and a girl, which is the manager from the Bradford Place, which they work in the kitchen. They do a really good job.
Brilliant.
Yeah, fabulous. So how do you see the future of Darlington's food scene moving forward?
Well, I'm trying to be optimistic, despite the reality it's totally different. I was talking with my friend Catalin, who's got business for 6 years here, and he said he never encountered anything like that, such a difficult year. And, you saw around, how many restaurants they closed down. And it's scary because, in my case, I put everything, I moved, I give up on other stuff I was doing, and hopefully I will, create a good business here. But you don't know what's on the corner. Just to give an example, I was expecting December to be a very good month, but what I didn't take in consideration, lots of people, they go for a traditional Christmas party. They'll not come for a taco or for, so the sales dropped to 50% in December when I was expecting to be higher. But I need to be optimistic because I have a good concept, a good product, and I hope, things will loosen and people will start coming through the doors.
Yeah.
If I will not have this product and the quality will be bad, I will not force it. I'm quite harsh on myself, and I always try to achieve better things. And I know at the point by what people are saying, what we're doing, especially in the Mexican restaurant, it's good. Again, what was disappointing me is every time someone writes an article about your business or another business, food business, or the market or whatever, there's so much negativity around. There's so much, like people slate you off, like, I give him 3 months, or I'll do this, or I'll be selling a coffee with £3, but you go to Costa or to the chains and pay, so much money. Those guys from the market, they invest some money to change around. And this is the trend. A food market is not like how it was in 70s, 80s. Yeah. It's more like, a food hall where you have, the street food, a few bits and bobs like veg and butchers. And you probably saw the comments, like so much negative, like I was better before. But people, the
world changes. It's got to
change. It's exactly I love to drive a Mercedes from '78, nice classic, but you put one of that in a modern now, you just pick straight away that one, despite But what people as well, they don't understand. They say we want the old market, we want the old fisher, the mongers or the veg, but how many times they come to buy?
Yeah, if they're not supporting it, then it won't be there.
Because they go to buy from where? From the big chains.
Yeah.
And if you make a comment, like, why you made this comment when you don't come to support it? Yeah. This is the trend, and people following the trend. It's not because, it's a unique concept which the guys from the market, they just put it together. Yes, it could be improved, but the footfall, unfortunately, it's shocking. If you come, especially between Monday and, let's say, Thursday, Friday, 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, 80%, 85% of the footfall, it's over 65.
Yeah.
And then you have the students, which they use the food hall as a sit-down shelter buying from Greg's. And this is it. You don't see, corporate people coming. You don't see, more like a, 40s. Yes, on the weekend it's a different vibe, but what you're doing from Monday till Friday.
So are you open every day then?
We close now for January for Tuesday, Wednesdays. In the market, but look, when I open the deli, I need to be open probably all these 3 locations every day. That's why I said, Darlington, from this perspective, it's a bit, stuck in their ways, and this is a bit, concerning for that. I saw an interesting comment when someone said, there's a rumor they will open a stack in Darlington. And it's like, well,
It's
there in the market. It's like, why do you need to open something? It was like, and we had a little bit of debate. I don't say arguments. So I was like, well, if that's all open over there, probably 50% of the businesses in the town center will be closed because you'll go there. Yes, fair enough. It's a good concept. It's attractive. It's working. That's why they open in so many locations. But I exclude myself, from the equation. But for the most of the businesses, that would be really, really, really hard. And if you look now, how many restaurants are open, on the Skinner Gate, Dock Street, or in the area, in the market area, you can count them all the fingers.
Yeah. Where would your favourite place be to go and eat if you were eating out in Darlington? If you had a night off?
If you had time. And you've got to exclude your own places, unfortunately.
So breakfast, definitely, I will go to Panko, which is in the market. They do very, very good stuff. And because they have their own bakery, their sourdough, it's unbelievable. Probably the best I ever had. And I don't know, I liked the pizza from the Pico. I got several times over there. Pretty much this is it. I never had time realistically to go around. I think I've been a couple of times to Al Forno and another Italian, I can't remember. But it's because of the time and you can't.
Absolutely.
What is your favorite? There you go. I'll ask the question.
Well, I've been to the posh street food, but I haven't been to the Mexicans.
No, exclude myself.
Onto my to-do list.
Let's exclude my restaurants because people think it's a paid advertising.
I like Maggie's place for breakfast. Is really good. And I think you went over Christmas, didn't you?
I did, yeah. And I went to Imperial Express last weekend. Had a lovely breakfast there. It's great. Yeah. I personally feel, I live only 10 minutes walk away. I think I've got such a huge selection of restaurants on my doorstep, and I feel very fortunate. My personal opinion of the town is you could literally, apart from obviously recently a couple of places you mentioned there, French and Mexican, obviously, that you've now covered. But you could pick pretty much any cuisine you wanted. Exactly. And there's very few small towns, in my opinion, that will have such a wide selection. Yeah. So I think it's, we're a very fortunate position. So. Yeah,
I think from this point of view, for what's open, and what you have, it's really good. But I think people need to, I know it's hard to know with the money and stuff like that, but for the local economy, I think people need to support more. Not only the restaurants, but independent businesses and stuff.
I think people also sort of they'll have a lane in terms of what they know is good, but they don't necessarily go outside of that lane to try different places. And I fall victim of that. If I read a menu and I know certain things are really good. For example, if we're looking at an Indian menu, for example, I know several dishes are really good. I'll read everything else, but then I'll feel pressured and I'll go back to the ones that I know are good. So the same sort of principle could be.
We had people saying the same what you said now. They stuck in their ways, having the favorite whatever Italian. They 99 they always go there because they feel safe. They know the environment.
It's safe, yeah. They know what they're going to get, and it's perhaps the uncertainty that would prevent people trying other places. So, there's the message for any listeners. Go and try something different.
Absolutely. Of course. And the deli, can you tell us a little bit about the deli that's coming soon? Where's it going to be and what's it going to be?
So that will be in the market as well, like quite central. So that will be classic Italian, Mediterranean, sandwiches, some pastas, and also have a deli counter when you can, pick stuff, to take home. We'll try to replicate as much as an authentic Italian, big, nice, filthy sandwiches. You need to put a bit of American vibe to that, having a nice pastrami. And then, as I said, we'll have some nice pasta dishes, and then you can buy, quite nice Mediterranean, Italian wines, vinegars, and all these little bits and bobs which they will add through but the main focus will be on the sandwiches and pastas, and it's more open, for business people. Which they
Yeah.
want some good quality for lunch. They'll come, of course, to have some salads, and I think the prices will be, far better than we expect for the quality you'll get. So I'm quite looking forward, despite I'm a bit, scared of the economic situation. But if you don't try, you never know. And as my father said, every fail is a kick in your ... step forward. But, you'll never... It's interesting, someone said, I had on a podcast, Michael Jordan, is so successful and he scores so many, points, but to reach those points, how many times he didn't score?
Yeah, as he missed.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a
There you
big, thing you wanna try it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
On that note, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you so
this
much.
morning.
It's been a
And
pleasure.
Thank you.
I need to go and get some food. I'm starving.
No problem. We're open at 3:00.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you.